Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Haheem the Dream.
With your boy, J Mac Main.
Yes, and we are here and we are ready to talk about Elimination Chamber. Oh my God. Elimination Chamber. My. Jay, do you have any news or rumors?
Let me go through my little archives real quick and see. All right, we talked about the AEW thing yesterday. Well, Moxley wants to. He would have loved to fight Timothy Thatcher. That's one rumor that I had, and I don't know what it is. I just can't get with the Timothy Thatcher band. I can't get on the bandwagon. I can't.
Yeah, it's too flat for me. Yeah, I need something more.
Other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into Elimination Chamber. All right, so before we even get into, the spiciest topic right now, concerning Elimination Chamber, which seems to have somewhat of a what's the word? Not controversial, but somewhat of a, I don't know, tumultuous response out of fans, which is garnering a tumultuous response out of fans. Before we even get to that, let's just talk about Elimination Chamber a little bit. Let's just talk about the pay-per-view overall. Mixed reactions. Anthony Cobb, absolutely. That's exactly what I was looking for. Mixed reactions. Better. Yes. So before we talk about the mixed reactions and the mixed feelings about the end of Elimination Chamber, before we even go into that, right? Let's just talk about pay-per-view overall. Well, go to the matches before we get to the end. All right. So we had the kickoff show. There was a match, fatal four-way match. John Morrison, Mustafa Ali, I believe, right?
No, it's Mustafa. You gotta say it right.
Mustafa. Right. Who else? Who were the other two competitors in that match?
Ricochet and Elias. So
Ricochet and Elias.
Ricochet, Elias, Mustafa Ali, and John Morrison.
Right. So the winner of that match will go on to face Bobby Lashley in a triple threat match with Bobby Lashley himself, Matt Riddle, filling into the place of Keith Lee, who was injured. Anthony Cobb says that pay-per-view was all over the place. I thought I was watching old ECW pay-per-view.
Right, I agree, and I mean, Anthony, and on top of that, you can tell it was all over the place because it was put together last minute. Like, I feel like we just watched NXT Takeover, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, next week, Elimination Chamber." Like, wait, what? Like, we had the build for it. Like, there was no build. There was no, they just had, Raw just named. Well, actually, there wasn't even no qualifying matches. They just named the player, the participant. I'm sorry. Like, hey, all right, we're gonna have you. You're in the chamber. SmackDown. Well, this tag team. If this tag team wins, you're in. If that tag team wins, they're in. Like, it was all over the place. And my thing is this, and this is what kind of bothers me about WWE. They don't promote the pre-show at all. So honestly, like, and nobody really watches the pre-show because again, for the most part, especially for Mania, because if we gotta sit there for Mania for 4 hours, I'm not about to say another 2 hours and watch the pre-show. And then for the most part, they're talking, so we don't have all the hype. So I don't want to watch you hype an event, And then outside that, yeah, typically there's one match on a pre-show, but they never announce it, so we don't know who's gonna fight. We don't know what match is gonna be. So it makes you not even want to watch the pre-show. So that's why the pre-show isn't, big for me. I mean, I try to watch it.
I'm being 100 with y'all. I'm not taking it.
All right, we're gonna wait till Anthony finish. He has a lot of noise in his background. All right, so let me continue on. Well, let's continue on. Let's go match by match before we get to like the hot thing. We have the winner of that match was Jesus. Who was the winner of that match? John Morrison. John Morrison was the winner of that match. He goes on to fight through the match. Matt Riddle comes out as a new United States champion, not pinning Bobby Lashley.
Because you can't tell me to do something.
Keeping Bobby Lashley. Also, we go on to the next match. The next match was next match on the card was.
Well, the first match was the men's elimination chamber because that kicked it off. The SmackDown.
For me to get in the city. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on, Trav?
Are y'all live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm at work.
Okay, can you go into a quieter place?
Yeah, I'm already moved somewhere quieter.
All right, cool. All right, so right now we're just going through the Elimination Chamber. We're going match by match before we even get to the end, Travis. Before we get to the end, because Ant is already in the comment section commenting. Before we even get to the end, I just want to go match by match. I'm not going to make it long, but just get to the end. We had the elimination.
So I'm sorry to cut you off, man. Which match have y'all went over already?
The kickoff show.
Okay. Question. While we on the kickoff show, who was the fourth man in their fatal four-way? I know Mustafa Ali, I know Morrison and Ricochet. So who was the fourth?
Elias.
He just I totally forgot Elias. You just said his name and I forgot. It just jumped right out of my head.
But
I wish I could see my face expression right now.
But it's sad. What's completely sad about the whole thing is, as us three wrestling fans, we follow it and we watch it all the time. We had no idea that this match is going on during the kickoff show.
See, but here's my problem.
At all.
Here's my problem. They did it because technically they say that Keith Lee got hurt.
Right.
I believe that's total BS. Mm-hmm. I told Craig I got a rant for everything today. I think that's total BS. We've seen this over and over again. We've seen where when Vince McMahon no longer stands behind somebody, magically they disappear. It's been reports that my partner sent me some texts saying that Vince McMahon no longer believes in Keith Lee, don't want to give him a push.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he hurt right after he engaged to his fiance. It's crazy that they just do this to great talent. Like, honestly, I'm not even mad at I don't want to get into that part, but I'm not mad at that whole segment. But what I am mad is that you're taking Keith Lee out of the situation where he should have been a face that's coming up good.
Yeah.
So for me, that match was, and then on top of that, you let Morrison win. Come on, man. Ricochet been humping his butt off. I mean, Mustafa Ali, I'm not a fan of his push under the group, but I like him as a character. But come on, bro. We could have gave it to one of them two. Elias don't need to push. Elias got a fan base. Ricochet deserved it, honestly. Morrison has been the laughingstock of WWE since he tag teamed up with Miz.
Right. So okay. Trav, so here's my take on why I think they went with Morrison. Because they already knew whoever was gonna win that match was going to take the fall to Matt Riddle. So you don't want to have Ricochet, in that big spotlight like that, and then take the fall.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I like that.
So Ali, you could have him in there, but then it's like the retribution factor, like it would kind of, and then it's on top of the triple threat match, no disqualifications, that would kind of change the dynamic of what they were trying to do. And Elias makes no sense to be in there. So Morrison by default is the one that, hey, let's throw Morrison in there. Miz has a match, why not have Morrison? Let Morrison take the fall. He's been taking the fall since he came back. Since he dropped the tag titles. So
right. All right. That's a good point, though. I like that. Right. That's a great point.
I'm going to hit up the comment section real quick. Anthony Cobb says, I think I'm the only one watching the pre-shows.
Yes.
He says, I don't know what I expected from it. Anthony Cobb says, the best match of the night was the triple threat match. Anthony Cobb says also Elias is a future WWE champion. He also said, I think Lee is going back to NXT. All right, so let's hold on a second. Let's not digress because I don't want to segue off. I want to stay. Okay. I want to talk about elimination chamber because we have to get to the end of this.
Juicy.
Let's go.
Let's go match by match. Let's go match by match when we get to the end and we talk about the major thing that everybody really wants to talk about. Then we'll segue off in a different, sub subjects concerning different wrestlers. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think the next match after the kickoff. What was after the kickoff?
It was the SmackDown Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Right. SmackDown Elimination Chamber. The winner of that match was Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, of course, as we all expected, he got washed up by Roman Reigns right after the chamber was done.
Bro, I wish I could show y'all my face right now. I'm so ready to explode. I'm ready. Bro.
But Sai, you talked about this earlier. Like, we kind of thought that with. After the men's, that's why we all expected the SmackDown Elimination Chamber to be first. And the reason that was going to be first is because it would give Daniel Bryan time to recuperate backstage. It would have time for him to, get himself together and, drag himself back down to the ring to have the main event with Roman. Now, obviously, during the main event, we see what happened, why the match happened right after that. But, because Daniel Bryan, he was on one leg, they targeted his leg. He had a one-legged swing from Cesaro.
I'm ready, but I want to say this. I told Craig this. But my take on what should have happened with that SmackDown Elimination Chamber, honestly, I think KO should have won that match. This was my take. This would have been my writing. I would have let KO win that match. And here's why. Because at some point in time, that feud between KO and Roman has to end. And it's not done yet. So we're going to either revisit this KO and Roman beef later on down the line, or we're going to squash it at Elimination Chamber, which is not squash because Roman pulled a Brock Lesnar. But my ending was KO wins the Elimination Chamber, first of all.
Yeah. And
they waited to the end of the night. And then they said, hey, let's make the stipulations. KO make the stipulation. If he wins, Roman Reigns quit the WWE, which we know not going to happen. But that was my thought. Quit the WWE entirely. But had Roman won, I felt like KO should have joined him to start this tribe that we all been waiting to see. Because he's the only chief, and he got one Indian. It don't look great right now for a tribal chief.
He has two.
Who the second one? Paul Heyman?
Right, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you a question because I agree that the feud between Roman Reigns and Kevin is not finished by a long shot. I agree with you, but this is a question I want to ask to you based on how I feel how the feud should kind of end. And the question is, do you think that if they are going to continue on the feud, to at the end of this feud, do you think that Kevin Owens should be Universal Champion?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for that right now, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. The reason why I don't have an answer for that right now is because we don't know what WWE is gonna do with the World Heavyweight title. I mean, I've had a couple of my friends hit me up telling me that Edge is gonna win it at WrestleMania. I had a couple of my friends hit me up and tell me, "Oh well, Goldberg may even come back. Brock may come back." I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with this WWE title. But I will say this: if Roman has the belt when KO and Roman gets to that point where the feud ends, I still would not. I would not give KO the belt over Roman. I wouldn't give him the win over Roman because right now Roman is on his best run ever. Outside of the Shield.
Right. Okay. So that's the thing, though, because I believe that Kevin is a great competitor to have a feud with Roman, and I feel like we don't. What we don't want to do is we don't want the feud to get too stale. And I was telling Jay, like me and Jay had a conversation not too long ago. Before I make my point, I just want to hit the comment section below real quick, because and it's hitting us up. He says he believes that the Daniel Bryan match against Roman wasn't fair. He also says that he said they could have had a great match. He also says that agreed KO should have won Cesaro. And he also says, listen, it's Cesaro or nothing. Nobody else deserves it more outside of Lashley.
Man, get off here with it, Lashley. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. He froze up?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, which is crazy. Lashley's cool. Once he dropped the title, I kind of figured that they were gonna push him more so towards the main
okay. All right, we're back. Okay. My signal was I was having problems with my signal. All right, he says they're going to give the belt to Dominic Mysterio. Okay. Travis, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. All right, so this is the thing. I felt this way about Randy and Drew McIntyre. I felt like they should. I like the feud, but what I felt like they should have done was not have matches back to back. At least give them 3 matches to have Randy take the belt off for Drew, and then like stretch it out. But have them kind of go tit for tat with just attacking each other backstage, attacking each other, mid match, and then have like a combination of 3 matches where Randy gets the belt on the 3rd match, and then have Drew take it back, a little bit later on,
and that's cool. Let me say, I want to stick with. Go ahead.
But the thing, I don't want them to constantly have these consistent matches of Kevin Owens and Roman, because it's going to get boring.
That's why I said to end it with what I just said. I mean, sorry, KO wins. Roman quits the WWE. Roman wins. KO joins him. Now, but that didn't happen. And the crazy part is, I was pissed off because when I'm sitting there looking at Elimination Chamber, I saw Daniel Bryan finishing the highlight reel 4 times. At that time, I knew WWE was preparing to bring Roman out. And I'm pissed off because not Roman Reigns, but Roman Lester, or we can call him Brock Reigns, because that's what it was. It was a Brock Lesnar type feel, and that's why I have never been a fan of Paul Heyman being behind Roman Reigns, because now he's giving Roman this Brock Lesnar type statue where he don't have to wrestle every week. He come in there and he'll cut a good promo here and there, and then he'll smack somebody one week. But other than that, Jey Uso is doing all the work. I'm not a fan of that, and I'm so mad because like he said, Daniel Bryan and Roman could have put on a hell of a match.
Yeah.
But they just oh my God, they just irritated me last night. I was so irritated. I tell you, Jay couldn't tell you how many cursing words I sent him last night because I was pissed off.
No,
and
he
it
don't.
wasn't even about the action. I actually enjoyed the action, but the writing was trash. The writing was complete, utterly trash. They could have did so many things different in that elimination chamber.
See, but the thing is that Roman is a villain. He's a heel. So he's going to. So even though Roman is booked to be this strong, but this strong heel, at the same time they want to book him where he does heelish things. So again, the heels will always try to find the easy way out of trying to a predicament. They're not gonna use a champion's route. They're not gonna say I'll face you one-on-one. They're not gonna cash the money in the bank.
I get that. And I get that. But what I'm saying is because you had such a great storyline, history, matches with KO and Roman Reigns, what I was just telling you about the stipulations would have been a perfect way to end it. And even if Roman would have received help in the match, that's fine. I'm not arguing that. But what I am arguing is that we seen it at Royal Rumble. We just seen it. We seen it Monday night. I want to say one Monday night or one Thursday night or Friday night, where the guy comes out first and he sticks it all the way out. Same thing happened last night. Daniel Bryan was the first one in the Elimination Chamber to fight, and he went through the whole Elimination Chamber and wins it. Edge came out number one, and stuck it all the way out. I'm cool with that, but those two guys right there, I love to death. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take nothing away from those guys, but their impact from the first time they first run in the WWE, and then their second run after they had their neck surgery, it doesn't hold that same weight and balance. Like they literally, Daniel Bryan took the world in my hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. Daniel Bryan took the yes movement to a whole nother level. But you put when they do the yes movement now, it don't even move you no more. You just saying yes because you like it.
Right.
But when he did that in Memphis, bro, everybody and their mama was up and saying yes, 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 enjoying that moment. That moment is not there no more. So for me, I'm not mad at that Daniel Bryan got the shot. That's not what I'm mad at. I'm mad at the fact that they gave Roman Reigns, Roman Lesnar, a Brock Lesnar type match. They let him come out and beat up on a beat up bruised guy, and they could have did better.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's move forward. Because we're going to be on this for a while, but let's move forward. We'll revisit it. We'll revisit it. Okay. So after that match, the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match, we had, was it the tag match?
The women's tag match.
Women's tag match with the women's tag match.
I think the U.S. title championship match next.
Oh, okay. So U.S. title championship match. Bobby Lashley loses his title. He loses his title. Matt Riddle pins John Morrison. I was a bit suspicious about Bobby Lashley losing his title, but we know why that Bobby lost his title. We see where they're heading with Bobby. As I felt like they could have done with Bobby, because I felt like this is what they were doing with him in the beginning.
Now, can I ask you a question, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Do y'all think that deal or Miz and MVP, when they were talking backstage, y'all think that was all in a process of what happened at the end of the Royal? I mean, I don't know why I got Royal Rumble in my head. The Elimination Chamber. Do y'all think that was a process to get Miz the title? Do y'all think that was part of the process?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. Now we don't know what deal
what details
is made with him. Yeah. So I mean, I don't, because obviously Miz is not going to be stupid to give Bobby Lashley a heavyweight championship match, because that's going to be a walkthrough. So that wasn't the deal. But it had to be something enticing for MVP to want to work with the Miz. You know what I'm saying? So I guess maybe tonight we'll find out possibly what The Miz told him.
So do Miz and Morrison join the Hurt Business now?
Well, I think that was the thing. The thing was, is that MVP was saying, you know, listen, you have Bobby going there. Bobby's going to take care of Drew at the Elimination Chamber. He's at his weakest. You know, Bobby's a big, strong guy. It'll be no problem for Bobby. And then after Bobby, you know, wears him out a little bit, it'll be no problem for you just to go in there, hit your finisher, you know, and then pin him and then get the title, and you'll be, you know, WWE champion. But if Bobby does this for you, you got to do something for Bobby. So you have to guarantee Bobby a title shot. You got to give Bobby a title shot. He's like, you know, Bobby Bobby helped you become champion, but you got to give Bobby a title shot.
Yeah, and that's what I think happened, and that's why I'm not too much mad about Riddle. I'm actually, that was the most impressive moment of Elimination Chamber to me, is how he won it. They took MVP crutch, and he went across his back twice after Bobby Lashley had already did the damage to Morrison. Yeah. So that was like one of the moments, because I didn't mind if Riddle won it or Keith Lee won it had they let Keith Lee wrestle, but I didn't mind either one of those guys winning it, because I feel like Bobby Lashley has done his justice to that title.
Yeah.
I kind of feel he kind of held it hostage as well.
Yeah, he did.
Because it's like he wasn't really, I mean, he defended it from time to time, but he didn't really defend it, you know, legitly in my eyes. You know, outside of what Matt Riddle, Riddle, he's no longer Matt, but outside of Riddle, like, who did he really, you know, compete against?
He had one defense, I think, against Keith Lee, or was that just a straight? I think that was a straight one. I don't know if it was a title shot or not, but he did go against Keith Lee one time, I know for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember. Huh?
Yeah,
No.
Well, he defended it against Cruz. After he took it from him, he defended it. Against Cruz in a rematch.
Yeah, because that's when they had. That's when that was a little bit after Alexander turned too. Yeah, that was a little bit after Alexander turned.
Right.
So yeah.
I think he defended the title against Alexander too. I think they actually had a title defense against Alexander.
Yeah. Him, Ricochet. It was him, Ricochet, and Alexander, and they was all trying to put a stop to the Hurt Business before ultimately Alexander turned. So I can't recall what title matches they had or whatever not. But Side J, what about let's talk about this before we go to the next match, because that's going really, Bobby Lashley is going to run into that last match. I know they scratched the Oscar match due to Lacey Evans' pregnancy, right?
Right.
Okay.
But don't y'all think they could have threw Alexa Bliss in that match instead? Like, it would have been perfect in my eyes to do that.
Well, I think with Alexa, they would want to build her a little bit more. You know, build for that match. You don't want like a last. Now, if they would have kind of hinted towards that, you know, let's say yesterday morning, or you know, throughout the day, so people can have an idea that could be a possibility, or even have them go back and forth on Twitter. That would make sense. But since none of that happened, just to have her out of the blue, of course, fans gonna be like, okay, so why them? Like, why are they having a match? Why does that make sense?
But let's not give them a pass, because they did the same thing with Keith Lee. They announced Keith Lee was out 2 hours before the match. So let's not give them a pass on that, but we're gonna give them a pass on Oscar and giving somebody else a chance. Let's not give them no pass on that now. If you can change out Keith Lee in a heartbeat, you can change out Lacey Evans in a heartbeat. They knew Lacey Evans was pregnant 2 Mondays ago.
Right. Now, honestly, again, I agree with you. Like, the same way that they had the same way that they had the same way they had the fatal four. I mean, the fatal four-way match to replace Keith Lee. They could have easily done that on on a pre-show for I'm sorry, a number one contenders match for Asuka. You know, you could have had Alexa Bliss, you could have had Rhea Ripley, because we still know where she's going. You could have had Mandy Rose, you know, or kind of stack it so therefore Alexa could win, and then go on to the men. So I completely agree. They could have, had this fight, because honestly, they ended it with the show ended with like 10, like 9, like almost 10 o'clock. So they still had room to have at least 1 or 2 more matches.
All right. So let me hit the comment section real quick. Anthony Cobbs, he ain't really defend against too many people. So Anthony,
talking about Bobby Lashley, right?
Yeah. Speaking of Bobby, he says he was holding it hostage like Dean Ambrose. Oh man,
Dean Ambrose defended it a little bit.
Oh man. Anthony Cobbs says, if they put Alexa Bliss in there, she would have had to win. You can't put her in there to take the fall.
She should have won it, but no, she should have won it.
Ramsey, oh my God, I watch all the time. Chanel Ramsey definitely watches Raw with me. Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view. Kimberly Jones, she watches it with me all the time.
But I was talking about Alexa Bliss winning it. I mean, I wouldn't have mind with her winning it, because honestly, right now with the Fiend out, you need somebody there. I mean, Alexa's been doing good, but they totally bombed the whole storyline between him and Randy Orton.
I think with Alexa, what they need to do is they're building Alexa right now. They don't need to just shove Alexa in there. It's too early. Even with the Fiend character, like when I seen her fight Asuka, I thought it was a little too soon. I like the fact they teased the idea. You thought that was too soon? I'm gonna tell you too soon because we're getting to know Alexa's Fiend character. Like, she's just been introduced to us. Like, she get introduced to us now, and then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, now she has a title. It's just like, see, these are the things that, like, I get it. Like, if a person is ready to have the title and they hold it because they great on the mic and they great with their character, that's cool. But sometimes, sometimes we do need a good build, so that way when they do get the title, the trajectory of their character lasts longer. Like the effects of their character can sit on us a little bit better,
and I agree with you.
It's been built on that moment.
I agree with you, but the only problem I have is, if I'm not mistaken, the Fiend was only in WWE 2 to 3 weeks before he took the title off Rollins.
And that was the problem. The problem was that he got the belt. I mean, see, the thing is like, all right, happy when the Fiend won the belt, but at the same time, I realized, like, all right, he got the belt so quickly. How long is he going to keep the belt? Because they put it on him so quickly, and look how quickly he lost the belt. He lost it to Goldberg, had the belt for about a month, and lost the belt to Goldberg. So I think the problem with that is that if they just keep building the characters, like I like what they're doing with Bobby, right? Bobby Lashley held the United States Championship. He held it, defended it for, against how many whoever people, you know what I'm saying, held it for about 3-4 months, lost the title, didn't really get pinned for the title, but lost the title. Now he's working his way up to the heavyweight title picture. They're giving him a good build. This is a good trajectory for him. It's like, that's a problem with the Fiend. It's like, I was with the Fiend taking the belt off of Seth Rollins because we needed somebody to take the belt off of Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins was getting booed as a face. But at the same time, it should have been someone else. They should have gave the Fiend a little bit more time with his character, then have him come in and take the belt. So that way, there will be nobody else in sight or that we can see with the belt. We want to be in that person have that belt like
that. And I do understand that, but I think what the WWE is going off of, and they've been going off of for years, is accolades. They looking at what you have brought their company so far. And for me, since they've been going off accolades and what you brought the company so far, it wouldn't have been that bad had Alexa Bliss won the title, because right now the women's division is suffering real bad on Raw. I mean, right now they're maintaining it on SmackDown because they got Bianca Belair and they got Sasha and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax come over every now and then. But
Ding dong, hello, you have Bailey still there?
But I'm just saying, all of them, the women division is suffering. But had you had you put the belt on, Alexa Bliss, I think you could have built the better storyline on man, you got me tripping over here. I think you could have built the better storyline for when the Fiend came back. It wasn't so much about her build because her character, she still could have defended the title. She still could have did what she's doing now.
All right, Trav. We got to hit the comment section, and then we got to move on. All right. But well, I'll let you respond to this, Trav. Let me just hit these comment sections. I'm a comment section below real quick, and then I'm gonna let you respond to the last one. Yeah, her and Asuka was too soon. Anthony Cobb says it was good, but too soon. Anthony Cobb says, okay. I seen them going somewhere with that story. I see them bringing the old Asuka out of her dark side. She had a dark side when she was in New Japan Pro, and I see them taking that somewhere. All right, now, Trav, this is for you. Anthony Cobb says, if they were going off accolades, Cesaro would have been WWE champion.
Anthony Cobb, I'm going to tell you this right here. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, but I'm going to put this in your ear, and y'all finna be like, wow, that makes sense. You got to understand something. Cesaro been in WWE for about maybe 9, 10, 11 years now.
Yeah.
And you think about this. He's never won a WWE championship, right?
Yep.
But he's been re-signed 2 or 3 contracts with WWE, right?
Yep.
He is content with not being champion. That's why they're not giving him the belt.
I disagree, bro. I disagree. Nobody joins, bro. Trav, I see what you're saying, and I think that I see what you're saying because there is a level of contentment that performers do have where they say, listen, I'm just happy to be in the NBA. I'm just happy to be in the NFL. I'm just happy to just record songs and not get a Grammy. I'm just happy just to be in a supporting character role, but not be the star of the movie. But the fact of the matter is, if anybody would be offered the choice to be number one, they would jump at the opportunity. If they were
I totally agree with you, Si.
Unless you're a Psycho Sid.
Or the Daniel Bryan role right now. Daniel Bryan doesn't really want to be champion. He wants to put over talent. So Daniel Bryan is one of those.
But Daniel Bryan can say that because Daniel Bryan is a legend already. Daniel Bryan is already, he had a WrestleMania moment. If Daniel Bryan,
I agree with you.
Does not wrestle right now. I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan, but if Daniel Bryan does not wrestle right now, Daniel Bryan has done enough. He had one of the best WrestleManias ever, especially at a time where WrestleMania was suffering. He had one of the best WrestleManias. Not only did he have one of the best WrestleManias, he had 2 great WrestleManias. He had the WrestleMania when he beat when he had the triple threat match. And then he had the WrestleMania where he handed the title, when he lost the title to Kofi Kingston. He had 2 excellent WrestleManias. WrestleManias. So,
but let me say this. You said you disagree with me on that, but think about it this way, bro.
Okay.
There were times where Cesaro run was impeccable. Like, we know when he was making his runs that he should have been WWE champion. We've seen those moments. But yet and still, he never got the WWE title. It could have been it's one or two things that's going on with that situation. Like I said, one, he's content. He's content where he is. He don't want a title. He likes wrestling for all the other titles. Or 2, Vince McMahon still got his hands in the pot. All these yes men, like I said on the last podcast, they still telling them, no, don't push Cesaro. Don't push Cesaro. Cesaro should have been a WWE champion a long time ago. He should have been on his 3rd run by now.
But I don't think that's due to Cesaro's contentment of not wanting to be a WWE champion. Like you just said, Vince McMahon already said, "Don't push Cesaro like that." We know that.
We don't.
They don't want to push Cesaro.
Well, but here's my thing. This is what I'm saying though. This is why I say it's contentment. Because if I'm in the WWE and I know Vince got it out for me, why would I continue to sign contracts to stay with him. When there's other
Okay.
platforms I can move to. Now, true enough, no other platform is bigger than WWE.
Yeah.
And that's why it pisses me off so much, because it's they have the biggest platform. They have some of the best talent available.
Well,
And you know,
let me say this, Trav. Let me say this, Trav. The reason why he would sign on is for the same reason that Dolph Ziggler was signed on. Like, again, like Dolph Ziggler said in the interview, I seen the Dolph Ziggler interview, and he said that one day I will be WWE champion. He said, I'm 42 years old, but one day I believe I'll be WWE champion. The same reason why Kofi Kingston kept signing a contract, even though Kofi Kingston push was subdued for a while. But then what happened was he had a magical moment where Vince McMahon said, you know what, we're gonna run with this because we ain't really got nothing for Mania. But it was no hate in the world. It was nothing. It was nothing
Ziggler,
in the world that could have stopped Kofi Kingston from getting that title, because
Ziggler had that same great run.
So,
Ziggler had that same great run against John Cena. Ziggler had that same great run against John Cena when he won it with what was the girl name? I think it was AJ Lee or whoever it was on his side. Oh, and with Eddie Guerrero, Black Widow wife, Vicky. He had that great run. So that's what I'm saying. I feel more so that he was content.
But the difference was that when Kofi Kingston was getting cheered, Daniel Bryan didn't have a set competitor for WrestleMania. There was nobody that they really could choose. But when Kofi Kingston started getting cheered and he started getting the praise, then it was just like, yo, it's clicking. It clicked. So it was nothing that could really stop that moment, because they was like, yo, we got to give it to him because he's a fan favorite. We don't even have an opponent for Daniel Bryan for WrestleMania. As we've seen that these WrestleMania, as these WrestleManias have been coming up, they don't have solid competitors. That's why they're building Bobby for potentially fighting Drew McIntyre, maybe at WrestleMania, or even The Miz fighting Drew McIntyre, because they don't have competitors. But again,
no. I totally disagree with you on
Kingston.
I totally disagree. They have competitors. They don't push the talent. That's the problem.
No, they don't. They don't. But this is my point. I want to land at. My point is this: is that it's the same thing with Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston keeps signing that contract. He kept signing that contract. Kofi Kingston, Cesaro, and all the other talent kept signing a contract for these two reasons. Number one, the money is good. It's better than the Indies. And you can make the same amount of money on the Indies, but you have to keep traveling to different shows in order to make up to that amount of money in that contract. Unless you're signing to AEW, where they offer you that level of money. Number one, the money is good, and number two, again, hopefully Vince will come to his senses like he did with Kofi, like he did with Drew McIntyre, and give like he did with Braun Strowman, and give these guys a shot. And that's the reason why these guys keep signing, because they hope that one day he will give them that push. But guys, we got to move on.
Hold on. I got one more point before we move on. It could be that also, but you at the same time you got to think about it like this. It could be security. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, I'm in the WWE. I know what I'm getting into. Yeah, hopefully Vince comes to his senses and hopefully I get pushed. But you know what? Where I'm at isn't bad. You know, it's not a bad gig. You know, I'm comfortable. I don't got to travel as much. I'm cool with everybody. I have a lot of my friends are here. We're good. You know, I'm a little older, so hopefully me, and then if I go to somewhere else, I got to try to prove myself, and it may be the same situation. So it could be a little comfortability and security as well.
That's a part of contentment. That is a part of contentment. Unfortunately, he's content with the situation.
Right.
But go ahead with the comments.
All right. Anthony Cobb says, I don't agree. He's just loyal to the company, which is great. But for him being so loyal, he should be rewarded. Taker was loyal when they were at their worst, and he got rewarded.
That's true.
Anthony Cobb says, it's Vince. Vince has his fave five. His fave five are Roman, Cena, Brock, Goldberg, and Orton. So, all right. So after the women's tag match, we had the final match of the night, right? Elimination Chamber. All right.
Y'all finna get it on this one.
So Randy Orton gets eliminated by Kofi Kingston, which was a surprise.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't expect him to get eliminated that fast, nor to a regular roll up. It wasn't even Trouble in Paradise. And two, the Fiend kind of distract him.
Did somebody else do a move on him before Kofi pinned him? Somebody else did something to him before Kofi pinned him. I'm not sure though.
I don't think so, because the way Orton, I got to watch the game, but I don't think he did. Because remember, he got right up and started all carrying on everybody. Like he was surprised he got
pissed.
So
Kevin Owens gets washed up by Jey Uso.
That was funny.
Crazy. That was crazy. Yeah,
he in the cage and just took him to. Sorry, Young Bucks, but he took him to he had a super kick party.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, yeah, Kevin ain't getting him after this. I was like, he's kicking him way too many times in the face.
The next feud, KO and Jey Uso for a little while Roman focus on Edge.
Well, remember we have Fastlane coming up, so Daniel Bryan's gonna come out and he's definitely gonna feel like Roman got lucky because he wasn't 100%. So it's probably gonna be Roman and Daniel Bryan at Fastlane.
Okay. I'm ready to fast track because I'm ready to talk about this one. This one I'm finna. Oh.
Okay, so let's get to it. At the end of the match, as predicted, I'm quite sure you guys all seen it coming. The match ends like this. AJ Styles catches Sheamus with a phenomenal forearm. Sheamus goes down 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles goes up for another phenomenal forearm. Of course, you guys all seen it coming. The Claymore in the air. He catches AJ Styles. He pins him. The cage goes up. Bobby Lashley comes out. We find out what MVP was talking to Miz about. Bobby Lashley comes out, demolishes Drew McIntyre. The Miz comes in with the Money in the Bank, cashes it in, and he is the WWE champion.
We have that graphics. I know we got the graphics somewhere.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
Which one? You talking about
do
this one?
not do it.
You talking about this one, Jay? Is this what you're talking about?
That one. I think that's the one.
That's the one? All right. That's the one. Anthony Cobbs is agreeing with you, Trav. He says, then the worst moment in WWE history happened. The Miz, he don't even call him the Miz, he calls him the Mix. He says
I like that, Anthony.
Wins again, 2011 all over again. Anthony Cobb also says, "Oh, okay, he corrected the Miz." All right.
So, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead because I'm heated about that one. But go ahead.
No, go ahead, Trav. Go ahead, talk. I'm gonna let you go ahead. You have the floor. I'm gonna say what I need to say after, but go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead.
Hey, Bad Bunny signed a contract with WWE, right? Did he, or he just a fill-in before I go on?
Well, eventually he's gonna have a match. Just like Bow Wow. Bow Wow right now is currently training with Rikishi, so Bow Wow eventually at some point is gonna be he's gonna have a match. I don't know if he's gonna.
Hey, I honestly, Jay, I don't mean to cut you off. I just need a yes or no answer because honestly, you could have gave Bad Bunny the title. I don't care. You could have gave anybody the
WWE title.
Wait, listen to what I'm saying. Miz has been a laughing stock of WWE for the last 3 to 6 months. They have did nothing with that guy. Him and Morrison has been running around there with the Miz talk, and they ain't been talking about nothing. All they've been doing is getting beat up on Miz talk.
All right.
Oh, wait.
No, let me just ask you this question because I want you to stay. I want you before you continue. I gotta insert this question into that portion you just said. You said the Miz has been a laughing stock for the last 6 months, right? But what does that have to do with his talent?
Wait, I'm gonna tell you what that has to do with his talent. His talent is okay. Miz is a competitor. I'm a fan of Miz getting his shots when it's that time. This was not the time for him to win a title. We're talking about one pay-per-view before WrestleMania. You're really taking listen. You're really taking the Miz after having not won one single competition this year He maybe won 3 this year. I'm talking about not 21, not 2021. I'm talking about 2020, 2021. The Miz has not performed at a level deserving of that WWE title. Understand, we had Randy Orton in that match. We had, who else we have in that match? We had, oh my God. I'm man, so we got Drew, Randy. We had, man, I can't think. We had Sheamus. We had AJ. We had so many people that have outdone themselves over the last 6 or 8 months that was deserving of a title shot, especially AJ. AJ basically held WWE Raw up for 3 or 4 weeks with the entries into the Royal Rumble, because he put on some of the best matches and he put a lot of people out. And he could have, and some people should have been in, but he put a lot of people out with some good matches. If it wouldn't been for him, I don't think the WWE would have seen what I saw when they were doing these matches. But skip that. What I'm saying is, you had 4 to 5 other competitors that you could have gave that title to. Miz did not have to cash in at that moment. That right before WrestleMania was not the moment. I am sorry. I don't agree with it. Miz should never be title. Never be title.
All right. So, Tab, I have a question for you. Now we know in-ring ability that's given. Storyline is basically the writers. So with the storyline that has been written for the Miz on Raw and on SmackDown, and be honest with yourself. Who has given better promos on Raw and SmackDown than The Miz?
I'm gonna give you that one. Miz have gave some of the best promos, but here's the problem: promos does not define your promos. Do not define your How can I say it? How can I say this? Promos cannot define if you deserve or if you are deserving of a title shot or not.
Okay. Hold on a second. Wait. Before you continue on. So you're saying that Ric Flair wasn't deserving of a title shot. You're saying that Austin wasn't deserving of a title shot.
No. Wait. You're putting guys out there that actually went in the ring and performed night in and night out. What I'm saying is the Miz performance in the ring over the last 6 or 8 months have been mediocre. It hasn't been outstanding. It hasn't been bad. It's been mediocre. You're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Every night when he went out to that ring and he wrestled, he left an impact. He left his footprint on that ring. You're talking about Ric Flair.
I don't.
Well, I mean, I may be over exaggerating a little bit.
Slow down, Trav. Hold on a second. Just slow down. Hold on a second. Ric Flair is the original 5 moves or probably 2 moves of doom. Ric Flair went out. Ric Flair will give you $1 million promo, but give you the worst match. And the only reason why the matches were ever good was because the person he was wrestling against did all the work.
And I agree. And you know what? I agree. Wait.
If you say that, so for you saying what you're saying, that means that eliminates a lot of people, because again, there are a lot of the big wrestlers made their careers off of promos.
I get that.
You have Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat. You have all these other great wrestlers who were great in the ring.
But hear me out.
At the time, they were not Hogan.
Right. But hear me out. Hear me out, sir. Okay, I understand that, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But what I'm saying is this right here. That was back then. We're in a whole new generation of wrestling. We are to a point now where 99.99% of the people know it's script written. It's no longer back in the day when I was young, man, and I was sitting there watching wrestling. I'm thinking this stuff is completely real the entire time. Back then, we thought that stuff was real. Now we know this stuff is not real. We know it's scripted. We know this coming in. We know, okay, something's going to go crazy because Vince done wrote it, or such and such done wrote it, or such and such done put this on paper. So yeah, you had to have a promo at that time because probably your promo was the only real thing. I mean, the only real thing about wrestling at the time that people didn't know it was scripted too. So the promos at that time were the only thing that people may have thought was real that was not real. But back then, we just looked at it like, oh, all this is real. But today, we wouldn't be sitting here critiquing WWE if we didn't know it was fake and we didn't know it was scripted. So for me, when I say his promos shouldn't have put him in that title run, don't get me wrong. The Miz can cut some, as he said, awesome promos. One of the best. I give them to him.
Right.
But at the end of the day, his performance level over the last 6 or 8 months haven't amounted to AJ Styles, haven't amounted to Sheamus, haven't amounted to Jeff Hardy's. And for you to just, oh, well, let's make this deal with the Hurt Business where Bobby Lashley go out and beat up Drew and then we give Miz the title. That's just something they put out there so we can watch it and say, hey, it was a good match because we did something different.
Okay, listen. All right, Trav. This is the thing. We all living in a new era, but again, there's a reason why wrestling became mainstream was because a guy named Hulk Hogan.
Of course.
Was great at, hear what I'm saying. A guy like Hulk Hogan cut excellent promos. He was sellable. He was marketable because of his promos, because of his performance, his in-ring performance. Even though his in-ring performance wasn't as technical as a Daniel Bryan or a Bret Hart or Benoit or any other person, and he could have been, because there's been matches where he was technical, and they're very hard to find online, but you can find them. But he was marketable because of his promo ability, his personality, and that's the problem. Bro, the problem is that we came out of the PG era where WWE was marketing wrestlers with no personality. Their personality was built around their attire, their music, and how they wrestled in the ring. But then when they got on the mic, they cut horrible promos. Everything was flat and bland. And that's the reason why the ratings have went down. That's why they've lost 2 million viewers, because people stopped watching because these characters are not selling themselves. And that's
okay. And I agree with you on that.
The Miz knows how to sell himself. The Miz knows how to sell himself to you as a villain and as a character. And that's the reason why Drew McIntyre needed the belt taken off of him, because he wasn't selling himself. It was horrible.
Listen. I'm not arguing about Drew McIntyre's belt title run. We can all agree on a scale of 1 to 10, Drew McIntyre title run was 3. We can agree to that. Maybe worse.
I'll give Drew McIntyre's title reign about a solid 6, in my opinion. I'll give it a solid 6.
Okay. But here's my thing. I'm not looking at Drew McIntyre. I'm looking at the 5 guys he competed against.
Okay.
So when I say that, I'm saying that with those 5 guys that he competed against, you could have gave that title to someone else, because all 5 of those guys deserved a title shot. Granted.
Opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity. You're right. But at the end of the day, like I said, because of the status of the Money in the Bank that you got to cash it in before a year, and honestly, Miz ain't had it for a year, because you got to remember he won it off Otis on technicalities.
Right.
So he really didn't have to cash it in, but because WWE, like I said last podcast, want to stick to this old script, the same stuff every other year. He had to cash it in before Money in the Bank. I mean, before WrestleMania or at WrestleMania.
So were you cool with Otis winning the belt?
I wasn't cool with that. I understood it because he was a hot commodity at the time. I wasn't cool with him winning no belt or even the Money in the Bank. But he was a hot commodity at the time. They thought they had something going.
All right, Trav, hold on. So I'm gonna throw a theory out there for you.
I'm listening, bro.
In the ring, yes, The Miz isn't better than not one of those competitors that competed in that Elimination Chamber match. Granted, I completely agree with you. His in-ring work is subpar at best. And as me and Sai said on numerous occasions before, The Miz doesn't take risks. So his in-ring ability is boring. Now, you have to look at it from a marketing / global point of view. WrestleMania is coming up in 2 months.
Right. Month and a half.
A month and a half. Okay, a month and a half. So right. Within a month and a half, this is going to be the first event that you're going to have live fans coming to. So outside of hardcore fans who's like, you know what, I want to go, you have to try to draw, as many people, as much attention, because Vince has lost a lot of viewers, if you think about it. Right. So and it's based off of horrible storyline, or AEW's the competition with AEW. Granted, so you got the 24/7 championship on Bad Bunny. He goes to Saturday Night Live. He promotes the belt. Everybody's like, oh wait, Bad Bunny got a championship. Now people who don't watch wrestling, they're gonna be like, yo, wait a minute, what's that belt Bad Bunny got? So they go on Google the 24/7 championship. It's in WWE. On Monday Night Raw. I want to see what's going on. I like Bad Bunny. I didn't know he was a wrestler. Let me start watching and see what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? So now that's bringing fans to Monday Night Raw that typically wouldn't watch wrestling, but they're fans of Bad Bunny, so they want to see what's going to happen. The Miz has Miz and Morrison. Miz and Mrs.
Okay.
Miz goes and promotes that show. And doing whatever he you know what I'm saying, any kind of way to promote that show. He has a WWE championship with him. So now people that just watches the Miz and Mrs., they're gonna be like, oh, wait a minute. So now Miz is walking around with the championship. That's more spotlight, that's more eyes that people are gonna be like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm about to watch that. Wait a minute. WrestleMania's coming up? That's the big event. So now Vince can send the Miz on these different platforms of view, live with Kelly and whoever she's on the show with now. All these morning talk shows, he can send the Miz, because now the Miz is marketing the WWE Championship, and he's not only going to be talking about wrestling, he's talking about the other things he's doing. So it kind of builds, because if you send AJ Styles, you send Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, they only can talk about wrestling. That's the only thing they're doing. Miz can talk about, hey, I got this TV show, Miz and Mrs. is doing great, I'm the A-list, I got movies, and by the way, I'm the WWE champion.
Nobody's watching those movies.
You know what I'm saying?
But let me go back. Let me go back. And I agree with you what you're saying, but Kofi Kingston on that level has just as much to offer outside the movie base, just as much as, because you got to understand, Kofi Kingston, him and the New Day got a lot of platforms outside the WWE. Now, I'm not arguing what you said. You make some valid points, great points actually. But at the same time, bro, marketing is the least amount of WWE word is right now. Because here's the thing. Wait. Let me tell you why I said it. Because here's the thing. I can go out and I can market a product, right? Mm-hmm. And it hits big, right? Mm-hmm. But the moment I change that product, or the moment that product isn't valuable to what I originally put out, people stop looking at that product. And that's what's happening with wrestling. Wrestling is the fact that people are not stopping watching wrestling because of what's going on. People are tired of seeing the same stuff. Now you can go on Wednesday night and watch AEW and NXT, and you can see something different.
Which is true.
But when you go to Raw and SmackDown, it's a repetitive nature. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like I was just telling my partner earlier, I said the biggest problem I had with the Elimination Chamber is, guys, I called out almost everything that was going to happen, and I got 3 things wrong. One, that KO did not win.
I picked the mid.
2,
I picked Daniel Bryan.
okay. 2,
Yeah, you got Daniel Bryan right. You definitely got that.
2 was the fact that AJ Styles would come out before Kofi. And the last but not least was Miz was going to be the one that attacked Drew McIntyre. But other than that, while the lights are going around, I'm calling out people's names as they come out. Oh, here comes such and such. Here comes such and such. It's such a repetitive nature. If the WWE changed that repetitive nature, like we was talking about the other day, Jay, when Paul Heyman was the writer, you seen different stuff that you wasn't used to. That's when it got interesting. The moment they fired him and they put him back in the mix, the moment it became dull again. So for me, I'm not saying that Miz is not a great champion. No, I'm not saying that he's not deserving of a title shot. I'm saying that for right now. But what I am saying is right now at this moment, regardless of how bad Drew McIntyre run, regardless of how bad Raw is, you had 5 other competitors to choose from versus giving it to Miz right here at this moment. You could have rewrote the script of the Money in the Bank, let them held on to it to after WrestleMania on Vengeance, and it would have been great.
Right.
All right.
Again, I said, hold on.
Hold on, Jay. Let me just the comment section real quick. We about to wrap up. Real quick because we are actually over time. Anthony Cobb says, "Yeah, y'all gotta let me speak on this next show, please." Of course, Anthony, you can come on anytime you want. The Miz is an IC Tag Team US title type of guy.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
I would have chosen Sheamus instead. And
Me too.
Said, and I hate Sheamus. Anthony Cobb's last comment is, he says, they haven't learned their lesson from WrestleMania 27, which was the worst Mania ever. It was so bad they had to get The Rock to host the show just so we could tune in.
Okay, so first, let's not jump the gun. The Miz is the champion right now. That does not guarantee or make.
Well, and that's what I was going to get to.
Champion. This doesn't guarantee him main eventing WrestleMania. He can lose the belt. He lose it on Raw any night. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't guarantee that he's going to be the champion at Mania.
Let me say this, Jay. Let me say this before you get off that. My partner sent me an article today, and it stated one of the reasons they took the title off Drew McIntyre, not because of his bad run, but the title stated that they were going to have 30,000 fans for WrestleMania this year, and they wanted to give Drew McIntyre his title shot, his title back, his first title back, like getting his third. It'd be his third time winning it, so they wanted him to win it in front of fans. Right. So that was one of the reasons why they took it off from him. Go ahead.
I mean, and then you can get the actual reaction, and honestly, I kind of feel he's going to get booed. I'm not going to lie to you, but again, the reason I say it's perfect to put on the Miz now. So again, it's more so ratings to try to build and bring your fan base to the Mania card. Because look at it like this: let's say WWE has 10,000 fans right now, right? Let's say Cardi B comes to Raw tonight, beats Asuka for the Women's Championship. So now Cardi B is defending the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Cardi B has not one lick of wrestling skills, but you're going to have 10, 15,000 more fans who just fans of Cardi that's going to watch WrestleMania just because Cardi's there. So that's the thing. That's why you put on the Miz to bring the attraction there, and then you can give it to an actual wrestler or somebody deserving of it. But just to try to bring the people there to watch the show and get it back there, you know what I mean? That you have to do that.
Yep. You know what, Anthony, I'm gonna tell you this, and when Travis was actually, talking about the rumor, that's what you just put down is exactly what went in my head. And I was going to say it, but I was like, let me let Travis finish saying what he's going to say. Let me let Jay finish saying what he's going to say. And this is exactly what I thought. He said, that would be the biggest mistake. This is referring to what Travis just said concerning the reason why they took the belt off of Drew McIntyre, put the belt on the Miz so that Miz can win it. I'm sorry, so that McIntyre could win it at Rumble. I'm sorry, win it at WrestleMania. He says that would be the big.
Hey man, I'm gonna need Si to put some minutes on his internet. That'll be the biggest mistake. They're going to boo him then when they see Roman. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I believe it too. I mean, like I said, I don't knock it, man. You know, hey, Si, man, you get some minutes and put it on your internet.
You said what? I'm sorry.
I'm making a joke. I said I need you to. I'm gonna need you to get some minutes and put it on your internet. So you want to keep cracking?
Oh yeah, it don't usually lag like that. I don't know why it's lagging now. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think McIntyre. We gotta wrap up. But I think that Drew McIntyre, if they have him, where they have Drew McIntyre, they have the people there. They're going to boo him, and if they boo him, they're going to eventually boo him. Like they did Seth Rollins. They're going to boo him like they did Seth Rollins. They're going to do it because they can. But us fans, we know, and we know when a wrestler, and that's the reason why we respond the way we respond. Because again, it's something that's predictable. It's something that we've seen, and if it's not fashion, or it's not coming to us in a fashion that's entertaining, you're not with it.
Yeah, your mic is pointing out.
Who, mine?
Yeah, that.
Oh.
All right, now it's better.
Okay, cool. All right, but you know what? It's time to wrap up anyway because we are 13 minutes over time. But guys, Travis, we thank you. Travis had to go. We thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. This is Talks and Thoughts. We want to know your thoughts. So let's talk. Please join us again as we go live tomorrow to discuss Raw, to discuss the outcome of The Miz being WWE champion. What's going to happen on Raw tonight, we don't know, but we hope to find out. We are excited of what's going to happen between Drew McIntyre, The Miz, and Bobby Lashley. All right. So guys, join us next time as we go live tomorrow. If you are catching us live on Facebook, drop a comment in the comment section below every time we go live. If you're catching us live on YouTube, please, if you're a wrestling fan, drop a comment in the comment section below. We will post your comment. We will read out your comment. If there's a question in the comment section or a statement in the comment section pertaining to the topic that is interesting, we would definitely put it out there and have anybody who's up, one of the moderators, me, Jay, we will comment, or anybody we have on the show comment on it, and we'll discuss it as a group in a group conversation. All right, guys, we thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your boy, J Mac Main.
And we will see you guys later. Peace.